Welcome back to another video, my friend. I'm Blake, and you're you, and this is Mono Black Gary in Explorer. So, this is a perfectly fine opening hand. If you're not familiar, Mono Black Gary, aka the Gray Merchant of Asphodel, is a card that cares about black devotion, meaning we want to get as many of these black pips in there as possible. Our opponent seems to be playing some blue-white control. We will make them toss their earliest play, the Divide by Zero, and we are feeling pretty good. So, we are planning to do a lot of shenanigans, and if you're looking for that deck breakdown that normally comes at the beginning of a video like this, that's going to be at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around if that's something you are interested in. But other than that, we are jumping right into a rolling start, trying some things out here on YouTube, trying to up that watch percentage. So if you're able to watch for a long time, that helps me out even more. So thank you if you're willing to stick around for a while. This should be a good one. This is a really fun deck. It can really hang in Explorer. I think it's one of the top 10 decks according to MTG Goldfish right now. So that is quite good. And we're having a decent start here. Okay, we do get countered. They drew into that counter spell, but we get to know a lot of what they've got, so that's good. So we're probably going to want to hold back here to dodge this Shatter the Sky, but we're in an okay spot. The Tenacious Underdog, if we can get one more Swamp, is going to put a lot of pressure on, which I'm very much hoping for. This fourth Swamp would be a big hit, but if not, I am willing to use this Treasure to draw into this Underdog right now, because it's going to draw us a card and start dealing some damage, and hopefully can draw us into that fourth Swamp or some kind of threat. So I think we're feeling pretty decent right now, and the Valki is going to not be very good in this matchup. The deck normally doesn't play any creatures. It's going to be very Planeswalker and removal heavy, so that is unfortunate, but we will go ahead and put down the Valki side just to see if we can draw something out, but it does give us 2 damage on board, which could come in handy if they start playing those Planeswalkers down. We do also have the nice benefit of getting to see their hand, so that's pretty great. Now I think we still get to look at the other card in their hand, which is actually pretty nice. Getting to see this Veto helps us play around. You get a good amount of info. We run 4 Duress just because I don't have the 4 Thoughtseize, so getting those 4 Thoughtseize crafted is on the agenda. If you want to help me out with that, you can buy me a pack by looking in the description. All the money would go directly into buying cards for this channel. Let's see. Let's go ahead and eliminate this Narset right now. There's nothing else really that's too big of a threat right now. And let's get down the Shambling Ghast. Really, we're just holding on until we can start getting our Gray Merchant down to really pop off for some damage. As long as they're not able to hold up a ton of counter magic, we should be okay. We haven't even been able to play this again, this Tenacious Underdog, so that's super unfortunate. Murderous Rider will be very good in the matchup against all of their Planeswalkers, so that's good. We're going to be able to hold up that, and actually seeing like the 5-mana Teferi here would be ideal, because then we just get to murder that pretty much for free. That's fine. They're just making any early play they have. They're in the opposite boat. They've got enough mana to play all of their spells, probably, but they don't have anything to do with it. So we finally hit that 4th land, so we can start popping out this Underdog every turn if we need to. Now I'm actually feeling pretty decent. We'll probably hit a couple Swamps in a row now, just because that's how the RNG do seem to be. Ooh, it's a Dream Trawler deck. Now that is tricky. Is there anything we can even do about this Dream Trawler? Because if you're not familiar, they are able to discard a card and give it hexproof until end of turn. I guess our answer then is to Meathook Massacre for 7 mana. I think that is the play. So, what do we do first? We could get them to discard a card. That would help, but they also get to draw a card every time they attack. So we're at 5. Let's put this... Okay, we have already played a land for turn. That is unfortunate. Well, then, that is quite interesting. I guess our play is then to at least make them discard one of these cards. I do feel pretty good about that. Come here, buddy. My assistant is here. Whiskey wants to hang out. So they will get to go ahead and discard this card. That's fine. That is on the plan for us. We just really need to get this to 7 mana, which we got land number 6 right here. So it's going to be a little tricky. We're under a lot of pressure. They could also just draw a counter spell, and we're absolutely in huge, humongous trouble. So we might not be able to win this one. We get to cycle that away. Luckily, we'll get to put down the Valki first and see what they've got. And if we hit another Dream Trawler, that could be a pretty fun way to get back into this game, too, by turning our own Valki into a Dream Trawler. So let's start there, and at least get to look at this hand they've got. Okay, we don't see another Dream Trawler. They do have that Shatter the Sky. So at the moment, they cannot counter our Meathook next turn. So let's put in the Hagra Mauling as a shield side. And then let's pass the turn, make them discard a card. Okay, they're going to make it bigger, and then they drew a card. Let's go ahead and Murderous Rider now. Sure, I wanted that actually to happen because I want to get those counter spells out. Because if they have a counter spell and dodge the Meathook, then they win. That's really our single win con at the moment. So we're basically just hoping that this one card they drew is not a counter spell. If they drew the counter spell, they win. But if not, we've got a chance we could come back, because they don't have a lot of cards in play. Alright, here is the moment of truth. X5. Can they do it? Okay, it looks like we're going to get it. Okay, we could come back. Perfect. That's perfect. Alright, let's see what they got for us. Okay, 5 mana to Fairy. That's fine, especially since they have 2 sorceries in hand at least. So we can try to put out the Underdog. Let's see if that can happen. They might have protection for it. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay, we're going to knock down this Teferi a little bit. Oof. That is rough. I think it's actually worth it to kill our own Underdog here, because we do not want that exile. And they're not going to have any creatures anyway. So I think a Fatal Push here is a fine enough play. And we'll just go ahead and put down this Tymaret, up our Devotion a little bit. Start playing for this Gray Merchant to do some work. Okay, they're just needing to draw cards. Unfortunately, Farewell will also hit the graveyard, so that's going to do a lot of work for them. And if they're smart, they'll probably just Farewell now, get rid of everything. Yep, makes sense. Except I don't really understand why they left enchantments. They left our enchantment. Interesting choice. Probably a misclick, but we'll take it. We will take it. Okay, this is a pretty good card to draw, actually. Very good in this matchup. Okay, perfect. We get rid of their one actual spell. We'll just put down Gary now, because we got to start chipping some damage away somewhere. If this gets to ult, they just win. So we're fighting, and we could come back. We're in a pretty tough spot. We need some sort of card draw engine, though, if we're going to be able to come back.
No time for a break.
It's a very hard deck to play against. It's very solid. They can just make a bunch of blockers like this, for example. Order of Midnight is one of the better cards to draw. Okay, we don't have any creatures in graveyard, sadly. Let's see if they have a way to kill it, so that we could at least bring it back if we get the chance. They probably don't have an actual kill spell. Ooh, he can just hype it right up. Yep, I did not see that. But it, yeah, so that's a little unfortunate, but that's alright. I don't really see us coming back from this one, to be perfectly honest. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a good one. Let's go ahead and see if we can draw out of it, but I doubt we do. Yeah, that'll do it. Well done. Good game to you. Let's keep trying with Mono Black Gary here and get another game right after they smack us in the face. I will see you in game 2. Okay, game 2. Triple Gray Merchant plus a Midnight Reaper going first. Let's see what the heck happens here. Backing up and following up merchant to merchant to merchant is insanely good if you can do that. Turn 5, 6, 7. We'll see if they let that happen. If you're still watching this video, thank you for being one of the people that watched this video for the longest. Most people don't make it through game 1. And if you are really enjoying this content, we play nothing but Explorer on the channel. And so you might enjoy subscribing. So that would help out the channel a ton. I know subscribing isn't like a really big deal on YouTube anymore as far as creating a good feed. I don't really use it myself that much. But YouTube still uses it to tell if a creator is doing well or not, and they put a lot of walls behind that. So for example, at 500 subscribers, I can open up the community tab, which I'm really excited about, and then at 1,000, I get monetized. So it is a huge help to the channel, even though it's not that important anymore. And if you are willing to do it, I would greatly appreciate it. So that's all for the commercials today. Let's start getting into this game. It looks like we're playing an enchantment deck, probably mono green enchantments, based around this Kami. Is this worth trading? I think it is worth trading. This gets to come back to their hand, but it's going to grow a lot more if we don't get it now. So let's get it now and make it come back. And we also get to draw a card off the Reaper, so we get sort of a win there. Okay, this will be a nice Duress, and then hitting that land number 5 is going to be a little tricky. Double Takenuma isn't fantastic. We will get to play this later on. Probably worth bringing back the Reaper even. And they have nothing but mutate creatures. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not really an enchantment spell. It's a mutate deck, actually. So that's interesting. Not a fan of mutate. It just breaks my brain to even think about it. It just basically becomes both creatures, but it always messes with me. I played very little Ikoria for a reason. It's because mutate was just hard. Now these are some sick alternate arts that I'm really enjoying. But this is a problem. 3/4 Death Touch when it mutates. Search your library for a land card, put it on the battlefield with tap, and they're putting these things on the fangs. So those are pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get rid of that fang so that it cannot be another mutate target. Ooh, or do I create the treasure? I don't think we create the treasure. I think going treasure into Grey Merchant would not quite be worth it there. That's not bad. If we do this, I think we eliminate their mutate cost abilities, which are actually more, so maybe we should have let that happen. But I think that's still a pretty good play. And we're just looking for land number 5. Good luck to you, Crab Rangoon. See the Kami. And then Recluse on it. Interesting. Okay. This does have a low mana value. That's amazing. Let's just do that now. Wiping the board. We do get a nice 2-for-1, so that is the risk of mutating, is you put all your eggs in one basket. It's very similar to enchanting a creature. I mean, that guy is just so big. So beefy. Okay, that won't do anything right now for sure. Let's go ahead and bring back our Midnight Reaper. In case we don't draw anything, we want to at least be able to start getting cards off of these things. So let's put down the old Midnight Reaper. The Auspicious Sterix get to come in and do some work. Okay, it's brutal. Brutal. 8/8, revive something out of the grave. Oof. Good night. And of course we hit a 4th Grey Merchant. This is not our day. The deck is not looking very impressive. Even a 5th land doesn't do that much because we don't have anything set up. Oh my gosh, guys. What in the world? I don't even think we have anything to deal with this either. Jeez, that'll do it. Good game. See you later. Okay, game number 3. We're just going to keep it. I'm not sure what we're looking for here exactly. But we do have a 2-drop draw some cards, so we're going to roll with that. Love the art on this Sign in Blood. Love pretty much all of the Strixhaven Mystical Archive art. So I am a big fan. And we're going first, so that's pretty nice. But we do have a very reactionary deck here, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Probably going against mono red. Yep, absolutely going against mono red. So that's unfortunate, especially since this is going to lose us life. Not really the ideal time to be doing that. But we're going to smooth out our hand here. Murderous Rider might be decent against whatever they put down here as this 2-drop. They could go... Okay, that's good. We'll probably be willing to hit that. And the Rider's going to do a good amount of work as a lifelink blocker as well. Let's see. -2/-2. No thanks. We'll wait for that. Cry plus Murderous Rider is probably pretty awesome. I guess we need to do this now so they can't grow it. Oh, it's just straight up destroy, not --. Yeah, we're good. We are good. Don't know that my time was actually good. I think I could have just waited till combat. Might have changed their plays a little. Got a little trigger happy there. If they put in something small, I'll definitely 2 for 1. If it's anything with 2 or 1 toughness, I'll take the Cry of Carnarium 2 for 1. Or even Meathook, same thing, 2 for 1. Sure, we'll take this 2. It's fine. We'd love to see a small creature that we can take out. Interesting choice. In that case, we're just going to put down the Rider. I'm guessing they're waiting to lightning bolt this or something. That's my guess, because this is a pretty big problem for them. Blocks and links the life right out of him. So I'm guessing they're going to lightning strike right now. Henceforth. I mean, that works too, I guess. But we're still in a pretty good spot with this 2/3 lifelink blocker. Even if it buys us 1 turn, then that's pretty good. Or even soaks up 1 burn spell, then that's pretty effective, honestly. I think my play that I'm leaning towards is Massacre. And even if they play the Bone Crusher Giant, we can Massacre for X3. And then that adds more pips for the Gary coming down the turn after that. I think that's what I like. Wow, we actually got 2 burn spells out of that, so that is fantastic. It does make my Massacre play a little less good. Okay, that's good, though. Liliana's Standard Bearer flashes in and draws cards. But I think for now... Now, if they play these, we do need the Massacre later to get rid of both of those. So I actually think we Cry now. Do we Cry or do we just Gary, gain 2? I kind of want to Gary after Meathook. I think we just Cry of the Carnarium now, get rid of both of these. The Bone Crusher Giants are going to be slow. But Bone Crusher crushes over the Merchant. But the Standard Bearer can actually get over that. Okay, Chandra, that's annoying and sad.
Without the sun, I'll light.
Okay. Into Pyromancer. Double Gary could be good here. Double Gary's probably good enough. Let's gain 2. Have a great blocker for the Pyromancer. We still, if they play a Bone Crusher, get to X3, keep the Gary alive, hit the Chandra. That's the plan right now. Unless we see something else out of this last card in hand, I don't think they can turn that off. They need 1 more mana to turn the Den of the Bugbear on. But right now, the plan is Meathook Massacre for 3, as long as... Okay, you 2, that's also fine if they do that. As long as they play a Bone Crusher, we're going to do this for 2, and then swing in and that, or this for 3, which keeps the Gary alive. Perfect. I think that's good enough. X3, get a nice little 3 for 1, and then... Okay, well, I didn't think about how we lost all of our attack power, but that's still okay. That still did a lot of work. And then that puts down more life gain for when Gary number 2 comes in. And we actually get to go Gary hold up mana for Liliana's Standard Bearer, which can flash in and draw some cards, which is awesome. The life gain alone should pretty much be enough to do some serious work for us. Ooh. We could force them to exile whatever's in their hand, plus gain even more life. I like that over the Standard Bearer. We got rid of a backup Chandra, that's pretty good. And then we gain a bunch. Now we probably have solidified our position even just with that, because we just gained so much life. Now one more Gary would hit them for 10. So if we can get multiple Garys going, then we're really on fire. Now they are kind of in a position where they have to attack, but that's kind of bad for them. It's pretty bad for them. Okay, what do we do here? We could swing both merchants. Actually, we could turn this... Okay, I think here's the play. We're going to swing everything into this Chandra, because the ult is pretty bad for us. They could ult it, and I want to put pressure on that. But even if they kill the Fenlurker, even if they block the Fenlurker, we can actually buff it, which I forgot about. Okay, that's fine. Let's see how they're blocked, but this flashing in is going to do some work. We actually want a thing or two to die. So that's fine if that Gary dies. And then we can buff to kill Soulscar Mage. And then they have to trade there if they want, or not even trade, they have to take an L there. What they should do is double block our second Grey Merchant with the Din and the Soulscar Mage, and then we could only kill one of their things. Is that what they chose? Ooh, they double blocked. We can only buff. Okay, we are still going to choose to kill the Soulscar Mage. And that's all. And then we get to deal 2. Awesome.
Really
and then 3 creatures died, so we're going to get to draw 3 cards, which is just a huge, amazing tempo play. Only 2, I guess. That's fine. Oh, how many of our creatures died? Okay, that's fine. And then, while we're at it, let's go ahead and kill this Bone Crusher Giant. There is a nice win for the deck. So, thank you so much for joining me. Let's check out the deck breakdown. So here is the deck we were just running with. Of course, 4 Grey Merchant of Asphodel is super important. We have 1 Hagra Mauling to round out our lands, putting us a total of 23 lands. It's not bad, it runs quite well. And then 3 Murderous Riders, pretty important. And then all here, these 3 can be swapped out for any card advantage 3-drop. So I just kind of ran, if you're looking for budget options, the Morbid Opportunist is great. Cry of the Carnarium is good against aggro, and you see a huge suite of 2-drops. Meathook is more like a 4 or 5-drop, but one of those is really good with the Grey Merchant. And then you see 2 Yarlock's Fenlurker, 1 Tymaret, or 2 Tymaret Chosen from Death. Again, as many 2 black pips as you can find. 1 Sign in Blood, 2 Valki of Lies, 1 Tenacious Underdog, very good in the deck. 2 Order of Midnight, 2 Heartless Act, 1 Eliminate, 4 Duress, should be upgraded to Thoughtseize if you have them, which I did not. 2 Fatal Push, 3 Shambling Ghast, and a Warlock Class. The whole deck is in the description if you want to copy and paste and play it in Arena yourself. If you do, if you stuck around this long, give me some sort of emoji with a hand, a thumbs up, or an okay, or a rock on, and I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day, my friend. See you in the next one.